Hi, my name is Maria and I'm an English teacher from Macedonia, and I'm very passionate about OneNote. I teach at a public primary school and I teach 2nd, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th grade English. So my students' age ranges from 7 to about 14. The topic of my session is page templates. I'll share some ideas how I use page templates, and along the way I'll share step-by-step instructions of how to create a custom page template, apply a template to a new page, and delete a custom page template. I'll also share a few ideas on how I use tags and a step-by-step instructions on how to create a custom tag, apply a tag to your notes, search for note tag, and remove a tag from your notes. What is a page template? A page template is a pre-designed layout that you can apply to a new page in your notebook to give them an appealing background. Any OneNote page can be saved as a page template. What you see on this page is something that I use every day with my second graders. The idea for this design comes from All About Today posters, and I'm sure every classroom has one. The lesson starts with counting and highlighting the date, and then highlighting the day. If we are celebrating any special event or any birthday, we display the photo of the event or the photo of the student celebrating birthday. In the weather table, we use the pen to circle what the weather is like that day. And since I'm using this every day, I need to save it as a page template and reuse it all the time. So what I do is go to the ribbon and insert, and then just click page templates. In the page template pane, you can see that OneNote already offers you a lot of page templates which are categorized. So if I open Academic, you'll see that there are a lot of templates that you can use that were pre-made for you, and you don't have to spend a lot of time making a page template on that topic. But how to save this page as a page template? If you just look at the bottom of the template pane, you'll see that there is something called Save Current Page as a Template. If you click on it, all you have to do is just name the page, and we'll name it All About Today. And since I want to use this page template for this section, I'll just click on Set as a Default Template for New Pages in the current section. So each page that I open in this section will be a page template, all about today page template. Just click Save. And then in my templates, there it is, All About Today page template. To insert the page template, all I have to do is just click on the All About Today page template, and here it is. Now, let me show you what a lesson looks like. Here is an example. All About Today. Okay, let's see. Today is November the 13th, and it's Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday, and tomorrow will be Monday. Our special event today is the OneNote conference. In Macedonia, the weather is cloudy and windy, and I also use this same page for sharing materials for the classroom and also observing the students during the lesson. So here is what we've done on this lesson. So we have a sway for a lesson starter. In this way we have a song, which is kind of a ritual, something that we do every lesson before starting our lesson. We also have a mix of the lesson topics. This lesson's topics was stand up, sit down, and turn around. I mean, they're second grade, so this is what they study. And at the end, I have a test in forms. I also have a table that I can use for marking students' behavior. So if the student is in his seat and doing what he's supposed to do, doing his tasks, then I just make an arrow in the field of the dog which is sitting. And if the student is not behaving and is actually out of his seat or not doing his job, I'll just make an arrow towards the dog who is standing. So that's something that we do during the lesson. And at the end, you see there is a kind of a test. So these students still don't write and can't read. So here is a kind of a test that tells them that they first need to listen to the activity and then underline what is happening. So they have to listen to the word like stand up or sit down or turn around, and then underline what they see on the picture. Lesson planning can be very tiresome, especially if your lesson plans are as detailed as mine. Here is a template for a lesson plan, a very well organized lesson plan. As you can see, some of the spaces I have already filled in. That really saves me a lot of time. Like, for example, in the teaching methods, I have listed all the teaching methods that I usually use. So when I'm doing my lesson plan, instead of just typing the teaching method, I'll just put it in bold letters or just highlight the method that I'm using on that particular lesson. So if you look at this lesson plan of mine, you'll see that all the things that you have to fill in are the date, time, and the chapter, lesson topic, naturally the aims and the outcomes. I have already written the grade and the subject that I'm teaching, because since this is a lesson plan for 6th grade only. You can also use the same lesson plan for other grades, but you'll just have to change the 6 into something else. Now, if you go down, you'll see that, well, most of the things are filled in. So if I'm using the SOL method, I'll just highlight the SOL method. I'll use bold letters for the SOL method. And at the bottom, you'll see that the teacher activities, you have to fill in the teacher activities and the students' activities, which is natural, and give something for homework and add some links that you have used during the lesson. So this is basically what I use for lesson planning. Usually people come into my class for observation, and when they do, they also need a paper copy of my lesson plan. And if you ever try to export OneNote into Word document, you'll see that, well, it usually doesn't work, because this table is probably wider than a page. So how do I fit this table into a page? First, you'll have to go into the ribbon and choose View, and then go to Paper Size. In the Paper Size pane, you'll see that you can adjust your paper size. So I'll just choose A4, and you'll see that my table actually is out of the paper and there is no way I can print this out. So I'll have to just adjust this. Okay. And here it is. So now won't have to worry about printing my lesson plan. So I use this lesson plan every day. So I really want to save this template. And I go to Save Current Page as a template and name it 6th grade lesson plan. If I'm using it into one section, which is called, let's say, 6th grade lesson plans, and where I put all my lesson plans of that, let's say, chapter from 6th grade, I'll set that template as a default for a new page in this current section, which I'm not doing now, so I'll just click Save. So if I go to Page Templates and open my templates, you'll see that I already have 6th grade lesson plan. Now, how do you change this white page into an amazing looking page template? Let's go in the view from the ribbon and change the page color. Okay, I'll use Purple Mist since my tab's color is also Purple Mist. Into rule lines, I'll add some lines, and I'll also change the color of the lines by rule line color and choose Purple Mist. Okay. Now, this template will be for taking notes for my parent-teacher meetings. So I'll call it parent-teacher meeting. I will change the font. Okay, make it a bit bigger. And here what it looks like. Now I'll add a photo to make it even more amazing. I think I put it in my desktop. Here it is. Okay, here is a teacher. Here are the parents. Make it a bit bigger. And I'll set this picture as a background, so I can write over it and so on. So here it is. I want things to be well organized, so if I just write things in out of order, I can't concentrate and find where everything is. I can add date here and time there, but I really want everything to be in a table. So I'll add a table, and later, if I want to, I just hide the borders of this table, and no one will ever know that there is a table there, which actually puts everything in the right order for me. Okay, let's change the font and the size, and this table also. I'll use the same font. Okay, now what are the things that I want that I'll be taking notes of? Date, naturally, and time of the meeting, attendees, and I'll need to write down the agenda. What were the action items? Sorry. And if there were some questions raised during the meeting. Okay. Let's see. Here is my page template. Once I'm finished with my notes, I'll just go to table, hide borders, and no one will ever even know that I have a board, that I have a table there. Okay, let's go back. Now, I'll use this template every time I have parent-teacher meeting. So I'll just go to page templates and save it as a PT meeting. Well, you have already created custom page templates, but there is one template that you don't need and you really want to delete it. You can only delete the custom made page templates. You cannot delete the page templates that are offered to you by OneNote. So I'll show you how you can delete your custom made page template. First, you need to go to your PC and choose the local disk C. So you have to find the folder called users. If you can't see the folder called users, go to view and make sure you click on the hidden items so that you can see this folder. So if you go to the folder users, you'll find yourself as a user. So I teach here something short of a teacher Maria. And go to app data, choose Roaming, and find Microsoft. If you look down here, you'll see that there are templates. And when you open that folder, you'll see that you have a OneNote document called My Templates. If you click on it, it actually opens all your templates, all the templates that you have saved, okay? So far, I have saved All About Today, I have saved Lesson Planning, and I have saved Parent-Teacher Meeting. So let's say I'll delete all, okay? Delete, delete. Great. Now let me get back to my OneNote Conference notebook. Here it is. And if I go to Insert and Page Templates and search into My Templates, you'll see that none of the templates that I have created are there. So I have just deleted my page templates. Here is another idea of using page templates. This is a page template created for my students at the beginning of the school year, and they need to fill in some of the information that I need for creating my course. So I need information like what they're best at and what they're worst at and what their expectations are for the following year, how their family can help them with learning English, or who from their family can help them with learning English, and what they expect me as a teacher to do. So to share this template with my students is very easy with the class notebook add-in. I just go to distribute page and distribute it to the separate class notebook pages of the students. But when I distribute the page, that does not I'm not sure that the students will do this exercise. So what I do is use tags. If you go to the ribbon and on the home tab, you'll see that you have a field with tags, and OneNote actually goes with a lot of predefined tags. So what are tags? You can use tags with to mark your notes, which lets you find easily some information, or lets you remind yourself about something, or identify what information is important, or prioritize a note. So that's how we usually use tags. OneNote comes with this predefined tags that you can customize, but you can also create your own tags. So I'll share how I use tags, these predefined tags, and next I'll share how to create a custom tag and how to use a custom tag. So I already said that I have created this page template for my student, and I really want to make sure that to let them know that this is important, this is something they need to do. So I just go to the title, All About Me, and just click the important tag. So when my students go home, they just open their OneNote notebooks, click on Find Tags, and there it is. They'll find that something is very important for them to do. They have to fill in this All About Me table. Here is another template for the boys, so I have both for girls and for boys. Now let's see how I use to-do tags. To-do tags are tags that students use when they're doing some tasks on the lessons. For example, at the beginning of every week, I have this template called This Week I Learned, and here it is filled in. Let's say this week we learned about the difference between must and have to, and we learned about mustn't, and we also talked about don't have to. So the objectives of this week is knowing the difference between must and have to, knowing how to use mustn't, and knowing how to use don't have to. So I'll just mark these notes with a to-do tag. Okay. And once I do that, I'll distribute this page to the separate students' notebooks in OneNote. And if you refresh results in the tag pane, you'll see that here are the things they need to do this week. So they need to know the difference between must and have to, they need to know the use of don't have to, and they need to know the use of mustn't. So if they do know the use of don't have to, they just click on to do OK. Yes, I did that. I know that. And I also know how to use mustn't, and I also know what's the difference between must and have to. What you see here is a legend that my students and I created, and that I use in lesson for observing students' progress and how students do during the lesson. So if you look at this legend, you'll see that, well, if the students are in danger or if they're grounded, that means they're not doing great, they're doing some poor work. If they're ready to launch and out of this place, they have probably started working good. And when they're heading to the moon or reaching to Saturn, they're probably doing even better work. And if they're reaching to the stars and they're a shooting star, they probably are the students of the day. So they're doing some excellent work. One way of awarding badges in OneNote is distributing this content into separate class notebooks. So with right-click on the picture, you see at the bottom that you can distribute this content cross notebook. So you can choose a separate class notebook from a student and put it there. I cannot do that here because this is not a class notebook. But the other even better idea of awarding badges is using tags. And for that, we'll need custom tags. We'll need to create custom tags with the names of the students. So I'll create a tag with the names of all of my students, let's say in one grade, and I'll share how I'll award badges with the students. Let's start with creating custom tags. So that you can create a custom tag, you go to the tags, click on the arrow, and choose Customize Tags. There you can customize the predefined tags given to you by OneNote, and you can also create a new tag, which is what I'll do now. New tag, and I'll call this tag Leah. This is a real name for a student of mine, and I'll choose a smiley face as a symbol. I love the font color. I don't want to highlight it. I'll just click OK, and there I have Leah. I'll add another student, so new tag, Andrea. I'll choose the same symbol because they're young and they want the same symbol, otherwise I'll have trouble why someone's smiley face and why the other one is not. Leo is a real name of a student of mine. Okay, and one more tag, new tag, Kiko. Okay, and I think that's enough. So let's say Leo is ready to launch, so he started working. He opened his notebook and he started doing some good work. So I'll tag this badge with Leo. Oh, and so is Andrea. I'll tag it too. And let's say Kiko is heading for the moon. He's doing some excellent work. And Leo is too. Leo started reaching for the stars. She's doing even better work. And so is Andrea. And let's say at the end of the day, Kiko is a shooting star. He did excellent work and he's given the shooting star badge. Now I have awarded badges to my students and I really want to see how my students have done today. So I go to Find Tags and the tag summary pane opens and I can see, well, how Andrea has been doing and how Kiko has been doing and how Leah has been doing and also Leo. What I can do with this summary is create a summary page. So if you go at the bottom, you'll see that there is a create summary page. If you click on it, you can create a summary of all the badges. So you see, you can see all the badges that were awarded to Andrea and to Kiko and to Leah and to Leo. The students already have the legend of all the badges, so they can see what it means. So how they were doing during the lesson. If you want to delete a tag, let's say I want to delete Andrea, this tag, you just choose a right click and remove a tag. So I can remove almost any tag. So in this session we have covered page templates and creating custom page templates. We have also covered tags and creating custom tags. Thank you very much for listening, and stay with the OneNote conference. This was Maria from Macedonia.